Hey everyone, I'm putting together a tutorial here on how to use Microsoft Excel to turn data into graphs, because it actually does a really good job for you. It looks really good when you're done. The other thing I'm going to show you how to do is there's a part in your project where I ask you to misrepresent data, and I'm going to give you an example of one way that you could do this. So I am working here with, I just made up all of this data that I got, all of this. I decided that for my survey, I was going to figure out people's favorite color and whether they like Coke or Pepsi, or if they like neither of those options, they could have also chosen water. So that was the data that I collected from my survey. And Excel is awesome, but if you just highlight this and you say, okay, I want to insert a bar graph, it doesn't really know what to do. In order for Excel to know what to do, it has to have numbers. So what I could do instead is I could say, let's count how many people's favorite color was red, how many was blue, green, and yellow. And so if I count all of those up, I'm just going to make up numbers here so I don't actually have to do it. Let's say I got those numbers, and I'll label this as total number. Now, because I have a number in this spot right here, if I go to insert a bar graph, it actually puts this whole chart up here for me. So again, that was under insert, and then you just click on which kind of chart you want. The problem with this, though, is that it's quite basic. So it doesn't really help me if I'm trying to compare things. So what I might want to do instead then is also talk about, okay, Coke or Pepsi or water. So I'll do the same thing. And again, total number up here. Make up some numbers. And if I highlight this information, go to insert, and then choose my bar graph, it gives me a bar chart again, which, cool, I've got that. I can also, if I wanted to do like a pie chart, you can play around with this if you want to. For right now though, I want to know how we can look at favorite color and what people like to drink together. So the trick for doing this is you actually kind of do it like an x-axis, y-axis sort of thing. What I mean by that is I'm going to have red, blue, green, and yellow, and that'll go down here. Across the top, I'm going to have the options for what people like to drink. Now what I can do is I'm going to look at my first data point. So this is someone whose favorite color is red and likes to drink Coke. I'm going to put a 1 there so that I know I've counted this person. Next thing I would do is look at, okay, blue and Pepsi. I have one person who likes that. Next one, red and Coke again. Okay, so I don't just have one person, I have 2 people. After that, red and water, and so on. So I would end up having to go through all of my data points here, and that is going to take me quite some time. So, pro tip, if this is the way that you want to organize your data afterwards, and you don't have to do it this way, this is just one of the ways you could do it, but if this is how you want to organize your data, I wouldn't actually collect this data in the first place. Instead, I would use this chart when you were doing your surveys so that it's already filled out this way and it's ready to go. So pretending that I had just done all of that on the screen there, this is the data that you end up with. Now, something else that's kind of cool that you can do is if I want to know, okay, this is all of my people who drink Coke and they have different favorite colors. Let's say I wanted to know the total number of my people who drink Coke. What you can do is hit the equal sign and then type SUM for sum. Click on the word sum, and then these are all the numbers that I want to know what they add up to. So I'm going to highlight them and press enter. What that tells me is it just added 8, 1, 4, and 3 together for me and told me that number is 16. Now you could go through those same steps again. So equals sum, click sum, highlight, enter. These numbers all add up to 11. The other thing that Excel is really good at is it has this little kind of corner box right there. If you drag that over, it's going to save me from having to rewrite equals sum, highlighting the data, pressing enter again. So I know that in total, I have 16 people whose favorite drink is Coke, 11 whose favorite drink is Pepsi, 9 for water. Let's say I wanted to know the total number of people whose favorite color is red. Well, I can do the same kind of thing as I did before. So I can say, let's make this box right here equal the sum of all of these numbers, because those are all my people whose favorite color is red. And I'm just going to drag that down so I don't have to retype it. Now I've got some totals here that I can look at and kind of get an idea what everyone's favorites are, which color is most popular, which drink is most popular, least popular, that sort of thing. Okay, I'm probably not going to graph this information, but that's just good for me to have in the back of my mind so that when I'm thinking, okay, how can I misrepresent this? Well, this is going to tell me kind of overall, like what is the average. So it looks like overall, a little less than half of the people, their favorite drink is Coke. So if I wanted to misrepresent that, maybe I would look at one specific color, so maybe blue, for instance, where a very small number of people drink Coke. And maybe I would focus just on that data point right there to try to make it sound like fewer people drink Coke than actually do. So I'll get into that a little bit more in a sec. For right now, let's say I wanted to make a graph of this. I highlighted my information. And one thing that's super important is all of this stuff in here has to be numbers. Because I talked before, if you just highlight these words, Excel doesn't know what to do. These things all have to be numbers. So let me highlight my information, insert. I'm going to go with a bar graph. It tells me that, okay, if we are looking at the color red, there are 8 whose favorite drink is Coke, there are 3 whose favorite drink is Pepsi, and 2 whose favorite drink is water. Okay, cool. From this, I can see that this trend kind of makes sense. Highest, medium, low, highest, medium, low. But this one is reversed. And this one is even more exaggerated than normal. What if, so for this chart, here's something else you can do, is if you switch the rows and columns, now, instead of red down here, it says this is favorite drink is Coke. And it reports to us, okay, there are 8 people whose favorite color is red. And now I know this doesn't really make sense that they used blue to indicate people whose favorite color is red, and they used orange for blue. Excel just does whatever default settings it has. If you wanted to, you could change that. I'm not super worried about that as long as you can keep it straight in your brain what it's actually telling you.